What up, YouTube? It's your boy Marvel from Matter back with another video. And today, what I'm going to talk about are the top 5 qualities that women find attractive, man. The top 5 qualities women find attractive in a man. So, this is going to be a fun one. And in this video, I'm only going to mention things that, for the most part, you have control over. You can immediately affect, right? Because talking about things like money, status, are those going to change, how women perceive you? Are they going to affect how women treat you? You know what I'm saying? Do women find those things attractive? Yes. But you can't change your status like that, and you can't change your money like that. It's very dependent on other people for the most part. Your status is 1,000% dependent on other people. So it's like how you can make other people, see you and show everybody that they see you a certain way. And then your money, it just takes time to build money. It takes time, interactions. It takes maybe open a business, maybe you do so. You know what I mean? So it's not something you can immediately affect. But 4 out of the 5 things on this list, you will immediately be able to affect. All right, so we're gonna get right to it. Number 5, your style, man. Your style is so important. I always talk about style. I always tell the story when I was in 10th grade. On a Friday, I had no style. Over the weekend, I changed up everything, head to toe, haircut, backpack, everything. On Monday morning, I walked in. The girl I always talked to in my class, we had banter, we would just talk shit to each other. She see me, she go, "Damn, Marvin." And I never looked back, right? That was when I knew style was of the utmost importance. Style is something that, even if you're average in every other way, if your style is on point, you will have a niche of women that are attracted to you because you present yourself in a certain way. If you have a certain aesthetic, if you have a way that you present yourself and it's very specific, there are going to be women who like that style. There are going to be women who are drawn to that style. And you're going to have some type of common interest, right? They might see your shoes and really love your shoes. And then you can talk about your shoes and y'all can connect on that. Right? The women really like style. They buy stuff all the time. They care about fashion. They care about clothes. They care about that. If you're a man who really knows how to put yourself together, your clothes, your accessories, your shoes, you know what I mean? Everything is on point. You're going to have women that are into you. All right? Now, the reason that I put it at number 5 is because some of these other things on the list, if those things were terrible, your style cannot save you, right? If some of these other things on the list were absolutely like, the woman's like, "Ew, I don't like that," your style is not going to change that. Your style is not going to affect that. Your style is not going to make you attractive to the woman, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So that's why style is number 5, but it is still of the utmost importance. This is still the top 5, right? This is still an important quality. This is still something you need to work on. And you need to find your style. You need to find what works for you. I would say another reason is that style can be very specific, right? Style can attract specific women. But if you dress in like a business casual way, I personally feel like that gives you the widest range of women to deal with. If you dress very sharp in a business casual way and you're very well put together, you got, y'all know what business casual is. If you put that together really well, I think you'll have the widest range of women. But still, if you lack a lot in these other categories, then your style is not going to be able to save you, and that's why it is at number 5. Now, number 4 is your physique, man. Your physique is very important. Y'all know, if y'all see my fitness videos, my fitness shorts, y'all know that I'm in shape. I know this floating head, it's hard to tell. A lot of people probably would not, be able to imagine how my body looks, but I'm in really good shape, right? You can check out the fitness videos. So I know body game. Body game is of the utmost importance. I've always had, since I was 12 years old, a nice body. Like ever since then, because I started doing push-ups every day when I was 12, and I had a nice body. Then 10th grade, I started lifting weights. It accelerated the process. Once I hit like 23, 24, I've been in the gym consistently. Haven't missed more than a week straight. since 24 years old. So I know the effect of a body, right? I know the effect that it has on women, having a nice body, right? I take my shirt off and I can see the difference. I can see how women respond. I can see how women react. Sometimes they just peak. Sometimes they smile. Sometimes they say something. Sometimes, but there's a reaction. They want to touch. They want to get close. Like, there is a reaction. When the shirt is off, there is a reaction. Now, the reason this is number 4 is because, like style, certain bodies are going to have certain women that are more attracted to them, right? I would say the most universal, and I've said this in the video before, is if you're athletic. So you have muscle and leanness, right? If you just have muscle, but you're like 15-16% body fat, you'll get a certain type of woman. If you're lean, most women will be cool with it, but it won't have as much of an effect. Because I've been lean as well. I've been on the slimmer side, and it doesn't have as much of an effect as being muscular and lean. That gives like a different effect, a different appeal. Another reason is because it's harder to tell when you're lean that you look really good, that your body looks good. You got to be kind of revealing. You got to wear like tanks and things that are really tight and revealing, like I said. But if you're muscular, athletic, if you wear a regular t-shirt, you're still gonna look, muscular and athletic. It doesn't matter really if you wear a sweater, you're still gonna have like a certain look to you, a certain stature to you that looks good. Certain frame is what I'm trying to say. So that athletic build is going to be the best, but being lean is still going to be great. Being muscular is still going to be good, right? And the good thing about it is this, again, it's something that you can control. You can control your body. And you don't always have to have an amazing body, right? Now, if you want to have a grand reaction from women, having an amazing body is going to do really well. Like having a very muscular and lean, not very muscular, having a muscular and very lean body like this is going to give you the best results. But you can have a decent body and still do okay, right? Because a lot of people have bad bodies. They have that dad bod, which women say they like, cool, whatever. I don't think that's true. I think they're just like comfortable with it. I think it's just trendy to say it, right? We know women like to follow trends. If it's on TikTok, girls are gonna say it, they're gonna go along with it, but they can't fight biology. If you have nice shoulders, nice traps, nice chest, nice arms, right? V shape, some abs, nice legs on top of it. There's women are gonna look, they're gonna stare, they're gonna want, they're gonna desire, they're gonna lust, right? And they get bold when you have a nice body. That's another thing. Whereas with style, they might be interested in seeing like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. But like, there's a lust factor there with body game. If you have that muscular body, there's a lust factor there. You don't want to be overboard, right? Like a bodybuilder, like super, super big. But if you look like an athlete, there's that lust factor that's there for them. The guys in the romance novels, the guys in all the fantasies that they have, right? All the fantasy books, fantasy movies, when they turn the book into a movie, I've said this before, it's always the guys who are muscular. They're muscular and lean, athletic looking body. So that's how you're gonna get the most out of it. But again, like I said, there's different variations. And the threshold is not that high. Women out here sleeping with guys who have bad bodies, right? And that's another reason this is at number 4, is because it's not necessary. It's not a must, right? You can be okay, have an average body. You can even have kind of a bad body, like a flat chest, little gut, you know what I mean? Arms is whatever, shoulders is, whatever. You just kind of have you know what I mean? You just kind of real average, and they will sleep with you, but there just won't be that lust attached to it, right? So if you have a nice body, it will add that to it. All right, so that's number 4. Number 3, and this one was hard. I didn't know whether to put this at number 2 or number 3, but I gotta go with number 3. Facial looks, man. Your facial looks are number 3. Now, y'all know I preach handsome man's game, so being handsome, having a nice face, I know it's important. It's one of the most important things. That's why it's in the top 5. That's why it's number 3. It's top 3. right? It's one of the most important things because, like I mentioned in a recent video, it can cause that infatuation, right? Body game will give you lust, but the face will give infatuation. She'll be dreaming about like, oh, I want to marry this guy. I want to have kids with this guy. I can imagine what our kids will look like. They'll be so beautiful. You know what I mean? Like women will start doing that when they see you and you have a nice face, right? People just see you differently. It comes with more of a halo effect when you have a nice face. You can have an average body, you skinny body, whatever, but you have an exceptional face, it'll make up for that. You cannot really be that stylish. You know, your presentation can be kind of, just average, but if you have a really nice face, you'll be okay. You know what I mean? So it's like your face, I know is very important. And on the flip side, if you have a bad face, if she doesn't like your face, there's like, if she doesn't like your face, like she sees your face and is like, there's really not a lot you can do to come back from that. It don't matter how in shape you are. It don't matter how stylish you are. You're not really coming back from her not liking your face. If she's indifferent about your face, okay, that's fine, right? You're gonna have to have really good style or have a really good body, right? Something else has to be extreme, has to be exceptional. If you just have a face that she sees and doesn't even notice, right? If you have one of those faces, right? Women don't really notice it. And you got to do something to be exceptional in another way to make up for it. But having that nice face, you can get away with a lot. You can get away with a whole lot. And another thing, the reason this is number 3 is because it's not really something you can change, right? You kind of, unless you want to do surgery, like go crazy, do surgery, whatever. I will never recommend that. But if that's something you wanted to do, I guess you can change it. But realistically, most men are not going to change their face. Right? They're not going to change their face. So it's kind of just something that you're stuck with, which, you can change your style, you can change your body, but the face you have, you can grow a beard and it can kind of change the contour of it for better or worse, whatever. But there's not too much you can do, right? And girls are quite picky about certain things, right? You can have like a cool face, like a good face, but like your ears look crazy, they're not gonna really mess with you. But girls will look at a guy and be like, ew, I don't like his lips, right? It could be whatever. Like any little thing, I don't like the way his eyebrows look. Anything like that, like those types of things can be detrimental to you. And it's like, things like ears, like it'll be like a lot of girls don't like that. Things like having, lips that don't look good, it'll be like a lot of, like there's certain soft features that, if they don't look good, women will be like, ugh, and it'll be a lot of women because a lot of women like certain things. They like lips and eyelashes and, certain things like they'll point out and be like, oh, like you have really nice this, you have really nice that, whatever. And if your face is not good, it's very little, like I said, that you can do to come back from that. So that's why I put face at number 3. And another thing is it's pretty subjective, right? So you can be objectively handsome, but still it wouldn't do it for a certain woman, right? You can be objectively handsome, but your face can look drastically different than another guy's face, right? You could be Tyson Beckford or Justin Bieber. Their faces look nothing alike, right? Objectively, they say both of them look good. But a girl who really loves Tyson Beckford's face might not be into Justin Bieber's, right? Maybe she will. There's going to be some overlap, but there's differences, right? And not even just race-based. Like, it could be like a Jason Momoa face and, Brad Pitt face. Like they look nothing alike, like completely different structure, completely different everything. And a girl who really is into one might see the other and be like, okay, or vice versa, right? It's similar to clothes in the sense that it's like typed. Now there's more women who are gonna like it, so it's a wider range than clothes, but it's still subjective. It's still very subjective, even if it's objectively good looking. Right, so that's another reason why it's number 3. Now we get to the last 2. We get to the top 2, the good ones. And these are things, like I said, that you're gonna be able to control, right? Face is the only one on this list that you can't really control unless you know, like I said, go crazy and do surgery or something. But these top two ones, they are completely within your power to do something about, right? And number two, and I'm gonna be honest, this one can make up for almost everything. It can literally make up for almost everything. You don't absolutely need it to do well with women, but if you have it, you kind of just gonna do well with women, right? Even damn near by accident. And that is your personality appeal, right? So what does that consist of? It is your charisma, your sex appeal, and your social skills. And I made up a new term, personality appeal. If you have that in spades, like you really, really have, I'm not talking about you just kind of okay with it. I'm talking about those people. Think about those people who you know. Sorry if y'all can hear my cat eating. Bro acts like he never ate every time he eats. It's crazy. But y'all know those people who, it don't matter where you put them, where they go, you throw them in a room with anybody, and within an hour, 2 hours, maybe 30 minutes, everybody loves that person. Like everybody is just laughing and joking with them, or they're just in deep conversation with them. They walk away from that person feeling good, right? Some people have that ability. They can connect really with anybody that they come across. People just love them. They have, and it's like different types of people. That's how you know they got it. Because it's different types of people, different races, different social classes, different but if they talk to them, people are gonna like them. Those type of men, when they interact with women, do very, very well. They don't need to be stylish, they don't need to be in shape, and they don't need to be handsome or cute or whatever. They don't need that. They are gonna get women through genuine connection. The woman is gonna feel like, okay, I really like being around this guy. I really feel comfortable around him. And because he has sex appeal, they're gonna be like, I feel turned on by him. Now, he's not gonna get the fluff, right? The fluff is the compliments, maybe a bunch of girls, following him on social media. He might not even do that great on dating apps, right? Because he can't show that quality that he has through dating apps, right? Girls might not be talking about him when they first see him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not gonna be like, when a girl first sees him, she looks over to her friends like, oh my God, you see it. And she's not gonna approach him. None of that. He's not gonna get none of the fluff, none of the ego boosters. But he is going to have a large amount of women that he interacts with that are gonna be feeling him. Because that feeling of like, I like being around him, I want to be around him, I desire to be around him, right? And then on top of that, like I said, he has sex appeal, so he knows how to turn them on once they're around him. He knows how to be sexy. He knows how to get them turned on. If you have that ability where they want to be around you and you know how to turn them on, what else do you really need? You don't need the fluff. The fluff is cool, right? A handsome man's game, a lot of it is, making use of the fluff, right? Making use of the things, right? And turning them into what eventually is you getting them around you and them wanting to be, intimate with you or be in a relationship, whatever your goal is, right? So you can use handsome man's game with a small amount of charisma, right? What being handsome does, or being good looking, is it lessens the amount of this that you need to have. Every guy is going to have a certain amount of personality appeal. But the more personality appeal you have, the less you need of everything else combined. Y'all know these guys, right? Y'all know these guys. It don't matter where they are. Girls might not like them up front, but when they talk to them, they got them laughing, they got them joking. You know what I'm saying? They got them feeling comfortable. They got them flirting, right? These guys are gonna be good with flirting. They're gonna be just any part of the game, like regular just game, they're gonna have that. And those guys are gonna do better than anybody else that doesn't have that. They're gonna do better. Unless the guy has really good looks and sex appeal. He doesn't really have to have an amazing personality. He just gotta have a decent personality, some decent charisma, you know what I'm saying, some decent social skills. But if he has a high sex appeal and he's very attractive, okay, he's gonna do better. But really, besides that, the guy that has the high personality appeal, he's gonna just do really well with women. He's gonna have women in his Instagram, right? He will have, because he has genuine connections with each of the women, they're going to comment on his, like, I know guys like this. They post a picture and women comment. Women are like, oh, okay, go off, king, I see you. Or, you know, so handsome, or whatever. They'll say things like this to him. And they're not the most good looking guys or whatever. I will say though, they're usually stylish. Guys like that with very high charisma and very high personality appeal, I mean, they typically have good style because they understand it's part of social skills, right? They understand the social leverage that they'll get from being stylish. They understand what people like, right? And so they know how to present themselves. That's a big part of that personality appeal, is knowing how to present yourself. And they do it, you know, with their personality, and they do it usually with their style. They're usually pretty fresh, right? So they're stylish. They usually look okay. They're like average looking, whatever. Body might be good, might not. But they have that ability to connect with the women. And so they're not going to have fans, like women that don't know them in their comments, but they're going to have the women they actually know feeling compelled to say something, feeling compelled to big them up or whatever it is, because they really genuinely like the person. They really genuinely like the guy, right? And like I said, if he has that sex appeal, he can turn that into whatever. You won't see these guys and think, oh, he's getting lady, he's getting all the girls, he's a lady killer. Like, people not gonna know. This guy's gonna be doing it on the low, but he's gonna be doing it, right? And this is why I put it above looks, is because when you have this, like I said, you don't really need to have anything else on the list. Like, every other guy needs a portion of this. But if you have this in spades, you can be a 4 in everything else, really. The only exception I'll say is if your face is like atrocious, then okay. But if you had an amazing face and you were just, you know, super awkward and unconfident and had no personality appeal, then a girl wouldn't like you either, right? Most girls are still gonna go, ew, that's weird. I don't want to be around him. He's weird. He's uncomfortable. You won't be able to transition anything. So you would still need some type of social skills, some type of sex appeal, some type of something, right? At least a little bit. So vice versa, same thing. You would need a little bit of looks, like nothing beyond like indifference, right? She can be indifferent about your face, but if you have that appeal, you have that ability to command the room, you know, take control of a situation, and really just like you're comfortable in your own skin, then you will be able to do well with women. This one, like I said, you can work on. So how do you work on it? Put yourself in positions and in situations that you're competent in, confident in, comfortable in, and that you like to be social in, right? And when you're in a situation like that, take that energy and carry it on to the rest of your day, carry it on to the rest of your week. Like let it be a snowball, right? So I'll give you an example. Me, I love playing basketball. I love when it's competitive and I'm talking shit, and it's like, that's when I feel the most me. That's when I feel the most like free in that environment. So I finish playing basketball, whatever, I feel great. I take that energy. Now let's say I'm at the gym, I'm leaving the gym. The front desk person's like, all right, have a good day. I'm like, all right, man, you have a good day. Like, you gonna get a workout in, right? I feel more social. I feel more like, you know, confident. I feel better. I feel at my highest level, right? Because I just did something where I feel all those things. I feel comfortable. I feel confident. I feel competent. I feel, you know, social. I feel good. I feel like me. So I take that. Now it's easier for me to be interacting with other people. It's easier for me to start a conversation, right? So I use that energy and I do that. I'm like, all right, man, yeah, you have a good one. Or if it's a girl, like, ah, yeah, cool, you have a good one too. Like, you about to get a workout in? What you gonna work on today? And then we have a conversation. Then they ask me, oh, what'd you work on? I'll be like, oh yeah, I did some chest, but I was up there really giving it. Like I was busting their ass. I was really giving it to them. Like I'm joking, I'm friend. You know what I'm saying? And this person's laughing. We're having an engaging conversation. So now I take that energy that came from the original energy of me doing something I like. Now that energy, now I have it's a snowball effect. Now I feel even better. I feel even, more social. I feel really confident. I have good experiences back to back to back that build confidence, build social confidence. And I take that, and maybe I'm outside. I'm single, right? I'm outside. I'm walking down the street to my car. I see a girl that looks good. She got a nice dress on. I'm like, that's a pretty dress. I like that. Where'd you get that from, right? I can start a conversation with her now because I have this momentum of social confidence. I have this momentum. So then we have a conversation. And she's like, oh, I got it from here. Boom, boom. We talk. Maybe I get a number. Maybe I get an Instagram. Maybe I don't, right? But then I had a good interaction, right? So that does two things. I can take that and, again, move it on to something else, move it to another situation, to another conversation, maybe another girl, maybe whatever. But I'm carrying that momentum. And the second thing it does is it gives me a positive interaction with women, which if you've seen my video about cold approaching, is very important. You got to have positive interactions with women so that women like you, right? Like, oh, I'm not a weirdo that women don't like. So when you approach women, if you choose to approach them or if you're just engaging with women, you don't engage thinking they don't like me. And I talked about that in a recent video, but I talked about that in like an old video about cold approaching and why it's important. I don't think it's efficient, but I think it's important because you need to get over that fear of women. You need to have positive interaction so you know that you can, right? And using this tactic, if you talk to a girl, you have a positive interaction, that will happen for you, right? So this is how you would build it, and you do that consistently. Maybe you do it, once a week, twice a week. Then you start doing it every day, and then it becomes the way that you are. It becomes you have that high energy, you have that good social skill, that confidence, that charisma. If you want to be, have that very high personality appeal, right? That is the beginning of it. You'll get girls by accident by being like that. That's what I said in the beginning. You can get girls by accident if you're like that. Now, if you have sex appeal and you can make it, deliberate to like with women. Now, another thing is a lot of those people who are like that, it's not just with women. They're just like that in general. So that's why I say it doesn't matter if you're talking to men, women, whatever. If you learn how to connect with people, right there, you're going to get women. You're just going to get women from that. And then you add the sex appeal to it, and you're going to do very well with women more quickly, right? You'll have more control over it. So like I said, that personality appeal is very, very important, and that's why I put it at number 2. All right, so now we at number 1, man. What could number 1 be? Because that was damn near a superpower. Personality appeal is a superpower. So what could possibly be number 1? And the thing is, if you don't have number 1, it don't matter if you're stylish. It don't matter if your body's crazy. You could be the perfect size, muscular, lean. I'll even give you tall. You could be whatever height you want to be. You can make your perfect player build. You could have the perfect face. Your face could be immaculate. It could be immaculate. And you can have the highest personality appeal. You can have everything. But if you don't have this, it does not matter. It does not matter. So what could that possibly be? The number 1 thing that women find attractive is hygiene, man. Your hygiene has to be on point. You cannot walk around with gunk in your teeth, flaky, acne-ridden skin, crust in your eyes, no haircut, your hair's dirty, dandruffy, your breath smells, your underarms, you got body odor, like, it don't matter. You could literally have, like I said, every other quality, but you open your mouth and smile and there's gunk in your teeth, they're going to be disgusted. I talked about that before. Like women specifically with teeth. All the other things, very, very important. But specifically with teeth, they look at that a lot. Right? If your teeth are not good, and I'm not talking about maybe they're a little crooked, maybe it's a little off, whatever, that's whatever. But if they're dirty, gunky, yellow, you know what I'm saying, like taint stained, they don't like that. That is a turn off. That is a major turn off to women. They're disgusted by that. You got crusty lips, like just normal hygienic things about yourself, like things that, like I said, is within your control. When you don't do those things, it does not matter what else you do. Everything else is a waste of time if you don't have those things. I told you, I worked with a dude. He was like 6 feet tall, maybe 6'1". We was all at work, so he was wearing the work outfit, so it didn't really have an effect. He was working out, getting in shape. He actually was pretty social. He was really social. I wouldn't say he had that je ne sais quoi, right? He didn't have that, but he was social. He had social skills. He could talk to people. He was comfortable. He was confident. But he had gunk in his teeth, and that just killed it for a lot. A lot of the girls was like, nah, I could never. They would be like making fun of him, talking about him, right? Because he had that. They don't like that. There's nothing that is really gonna compensate for that. Now he just had gunk in his teeth. Like the rest of his hygiene was good. He didn't smell nothing like that. He had haircuts. Like he was on point with everything else. But he just for some reason like had some type of gunk in his teeth. But if you really like layer that and maybe you smell bad on top of that, or maybe you always have flaky skin, or you have acne, something like that. And that's another thing, like with the skincare, somebody asked me what my skincare routine is, and it's not extensive, right? I use African black soap. I put it on a washcloth with hot water, scrub my face, whatever, cool. Then I get cold water in my hands, rinse it off, get it all the soap off. I get 2 drops of almond oil while my face is still wet, rub it together, put it on my face for moisturizer, because you need moisture. You have to have moisture. So also drink water. That's going to help with your skin. And then always make sure you moisturize your skin. That's going to help. So those 2 things are important. But the third thing, the thing that people don't talk about in their skincare routine is sweating. You got to sweat. Sweating is like nature's way of cleaning your skin. It's nature's way of cleaning your pores out. Right? If you sweat, you're going to have... It doesn't matter how on point I am with washing my face and doing all that. If I don't sweat, it's still not going to be as good as if I sweat. It's always going to be better. Like I never really had bad skin or like crazy problems with my skin, crazy acne, nothing like that. But my skin is always better when I sweat. So if you can, you should be working out anyways, right? Because body's on this list. So you should be working out anyways. So if you can sweat, right? You got to be lean. You can be muscular, like I said, but it's better if you have some leanness. So in order to get that leanness, get a sweat going, do some cardio, right? It's going to help your skin. It's going to help you, right? So just do that. Like my granddad, he didn't even really use like soap and all that. Like he would just use a really hot rag, like put it in really hot water, wring it out, put it on his face, let it just kind of steam his face, really. It was just kind of steaming. So it was like almost like being in a sauna, but it was like just for his face. And he would just do that like a few times, 3-4 times, rinse it with cold water, so make the rag cold, and then wipe his face off. And then boom, he had crazy good skin. A couple of my uncles do that. My brother does that. That's what he does. And then they just put a little bit of moisturizer, whatever you use, lotion, Vaseline, almond oil, whatever oils you want to use, whatever it is that you use to moisturize your skin. But that's really it. That's just a little tip. But yeah, hygiene, man. Get your hair cut, right? Get whatever cut, find a cut that suits you. But keep it clean. Keep it clean. Keep it faded, or keep it lined up, or keep it, shaped well. Like, don't just be out here having shaggy, raggedy hair. Your beard, right? Keep it clean. Keep it shaped. Cut it off. Whatever it is that is going to help you be more hygienic, do that. I guarantee you that's going to benefit you. Now, hygiene won't save you if you don't have anything else. But if you don't have hygiene, nothing else matters. And that's why I put it at number 1 on this list. All right, y'all. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was insightful. I think that I dropped some pretty good information in this video. You can take any of this and kind of make sure that you incorporate it into you. so that you know, like, okay, I'm working on things that are making me more attractive. The personality appeal one, I will put an asterisk next to that one because it's very, very powerful. It's very important. Take that little lesson about, do something that you feel your most you at, and carry that energy into the rest of your day, and then continually do that. It doesn't have to always be the same thing. If there's multiple things that you enjoy doing, like me, it's not just basketball, it's any sport. Any sport that I do, I always feel good. And I can take that energy and do something else. So whatever that is for you, you know what I mean? Incorporate that into how you move, and you will build your personality appeal. Hit the gym, you'll build your body, you know what I mean? Make it aesthetic. I actually have a routine that could really help you. Like, I got into really good shape. This is what I was looking like from this routine. So the same link that I have for my coaching calls, I also have on that same website my workout routine that got me looking like that. So if y'all interested, hit that up. And then work on your style. Have somebody help you, somebody that's is stylish, or go on Pinterest or whatever and find a way to improve your style. It's gonna take time because clothes cost money, right? So if you don't just have money at your disposal, get a couple pieces, here and there, build it up, keep it simple. If your body is nice, you don't have to dress extravagantly. Like I said, just a little business casual, throw on some slacks with a nice fitted tee, some nice shoes, belt. You know what I mean? Switch the tee up, have a couple pairs of pants, couple tees. You can do a lot with that, right? And some nice jeans, you can do a lot with that. So take these things, incorporate them into your life, and be more attractive, man. All right? So that's the video for today. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Drop some more topics in the comment section. And I got my coaching calls in the description box, Instagram in the description box. And y'all know what it is. It's mind over matter, marvel over matter. Let's get it.